So I think it's about time I share one of my favorite comic series. Most of the books that I read are novels, and I love them. I only have a few series that are comic series that I love, and this is the very first one I ever read. This is the ElfQuest series, and it is my favorite, and it has a very special place in my heart. I believe that the ElfQuest series started being published in like the early 1980s, so it's been around for a while. The most recent publication, though, for this comic series was in 2023. I'm not sure if there's been any more since this one. I don't think so. There's this awesome website that has what the order is and even the ability to read some of these that is here. I absolutely love this. This really helped me read chronologically the entire story because it lasts over 10,000 years. It is long. When I was just a young girl, I stumbled upon the 4 main books, the volumes that were ElfQuest that my aunt purchased when she was younger, and she loved these, and I remember reading these and just being like, ah, amazing. I love this story. It is beautiful. It is so well told and designed. These are the 4 main ones. I'm just showing them off because this is part of my childhood. I absolutely love ElfQuest. I own, as far as I know, every single published comic, not the books, because I've always only read these as comics, so I have not read the novels associated. But as far as I know, I own all of the comics related to the ElfQuest series. It took me a hot minute to collect all of them, but most of them actually aren't in book form. I have these like binders, which I eventually want to put a beautiful cover for, and they hold all of like the actual comic book. So this is The Blood of 10 Chiefs. This is like the very beginning of the story, but I would read this after reading the beginning of Cutter's story in ElfQuest book 1. I would start here, even though Blood of 10 Chiefs is like kind of like the prequel. But I have like all of the actual comics themselves, and they're beautiful. Those that were published in color, I have those. There are some that were only in black and white, and I don't know. I'm not even sure if I'm really like I'm 100% recommending this. It's amazing. But also, I'm just curious if anyone else out there is just like a huge ElfQuest fan, because I honestly don't know how much I've seen people talk about it, and I love it, and I kind of want to reread it. This crushed my soul. Actually, the comics that happened right before this story, those crushed my soul. Oh my god, so much emotion. So I am not the biggest comic book reader. I will go over some of the other comics I recommend, Saga being a great one. That one's an awesome one, but I would totally recommend ElfQuest. I think ElfQuest is a beautiful story, and I started reading this back in middle school. There are certain parts that are a little suggestive, I suppose, but honestly, it's fine. I would say a middle schooler could read this. In my personal opinion, that would be fine. So if you're curious about a comic series and you're wanting to pick up something that may or may not be popular, this would be my recommendation. If you're interested in picking up a comic that is a bit older, I would recommend ElfQuest. Plus, they're recently being republished, I believe, as hardcovers, and so they're coming out with these new gorgeous covers, and so there you go. There's my comic recommendation for this week.